Part 2, Chapter 14. When I'd first started working for the fat guy, I figured the lousy weather in the winter would empty the beach and make it easier for me to search through the rocks for packages without worrying that someone would see me and get suspicious. But it was almost January, and every day people were still out combing the beach. These weren't muscle builders or babes working on their suntans. They were winter beach people, and they were looking for things: herons and eagles, starfish and sea pens. They held binoculars to their eyes, and they knew the beach like I knew the tiny dancer. They made me nervous, so I took to running as close to nightfall as I dared. It was harder to see if I ran late, but the later I ran, the more deserted the beach was. New Year's Day, I waited until it was dark, so dark that I almost didn't find the package. I spotted it just as I was turning to head back. The wrapping was different from the other packages. The paper was reddish and coarse, and whatever was inside felt different too, though I immediately knew I felt something like it before. Finally, it came to me. It had the consistency of Play-Doh. This was the new stuff. I slipped the package into my backpack and headed back to the marina, but instead of bringing the package to the locker, I kept it on the tiny dancer. My dad was working at the bike shop, so it was simple to go below deck, climb into my berth, slide open the panel to the secret storage nook, lift out his medals and his perfectly folded American flag, and hide the package behind them. I'd gotten used to sleeping late, so it was hard getting out of bed when the Monday winter break ended. As I dragged myself up the hill toward Lincoln High, the skies opened and a freezing rain poured down. I walked fast, but I was still drenched by the time I made it to school. As I pushed open the main doors, I spotted a stack of school newspapers by the front door. I grabbed a copy and headed out to the commons area, hoping it would be warm in there. Other kids must have had the same idea. It was so crowded I had to sit on the floor. For the 10 minutes before my first class, I skimmed through Thomas Dowell's articles on the football team, the girls' volleyball team, and the soccer team. Annie Comstock wrote something on the ecology club. Natasha Martin had a description of the new biotech academy. Melissa wrote everything else. Some junior had come in third at a chess competition. 4 kids were National Merit Scholarship semifinalists. One of the football players worked with Habitat for Humanity. She wrote other stuff too, stuff that I didn't read. Almost everybody in the commons was flipping through the newspaper, but when the bell rang, most kids left it behind on the tables or tossed it in the trash. I didn't see Melissa until just before 6th period. "It's a good newspaper," I said, holding up my copy. "Really good." "Thanks," she said, her smile forced. "The next one will be better." That night, my dad and I ate dinner together, something we'd been doing more and more of. Afterwards, I could see him getting edgy. "There's a Sonics game on television later. You want to watch it?" "Yeah," he said, "let's do that." It was a decent game, but around 8 the wind started blowing and the boat started rocking. The reception was affected and the picture flickered. Finally, my dad switched off the television. "I'll find out tomorrow," he said, "about the job at the cycle shop. The guy I work for is just the manager. He has to ask the owner if he can keep me on. I have a good feeling about this chance. I'm due for a little luck." He stood and stretched. "I'm going out for a walk." Something in my face must have betrayed my thoughts. "Don't worry. I'm just going for a walk."